Hello, everyone, and welcome to Play Dicely After Party. My name is Christy Clow, and this is the Talkback Show where myself and my wonderful castmates and the incredible DM of our adventures discuss the most recent episodes of Play Dicely, our D&D actual play show that typically airs live here on Twitch every other Sunday at 6 p.m. I'm going to give a super quick shout out to Tim from Tabletop Audio for the music that you will be hearing in the VOD if you're happy to be watching this on YouTube later. And yeah, this week we are discussing just episode 38, which is called Change of Plans. And then later we'll be discussing episode 39, but we've already played it, so a little bit might trickle in to here, so we'll see. Yeah. So to jump right into it, this episode began and was for quite a while us discussing plans of what we wanted to do. I think it might have been like at least 45 minutes.
It was a while. It was a hot
really long time, which is fun.
Well, I think this part was so fun as well because we were just like, boy, what do we do? And Daddy's like, maybe you should call them. We're like, we don't know what to do.
It's really
like, maybe you should talk to somebody. We're like, no, we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, you really were trying to give us so many gentle nudges to be like, hey, none of this is going to be relevant if you just call them. We're
maybe you should get more info.
Okay, but we could cross a river.
Yeah.
What if we took a boat?
We could discuss every single possible option without knowing which ones are actually possible. And then, yeah, that was...
Honestly, for me, it was a lot of fun actually hearing this conversation and your guys' crazy schemes. I'm like, huh, that is interesting. It's going to become irrelevant, but that sure is interesting.
It's going to become irrelevant. It's like a quintessential D&D moment.
Yeah.
Sit there and talk about what to do for 45 minutes.
Yeah, it felt very home game energy to me, which maybe is not what we want for something that's meant to be more entertaining.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I've told you guys before, sure, this is going to be a show, but I want you guys to have fun. And that just really is testament to, how much we are still just playing D&D with a bunch of friends.
That is very true. But yeah, I also don't know if, I found the entire thing so fun. I feel like we should have maybe wrapped it up faster, but it was just one of those things where it's I just really need to consider everything. So...
Well, it feels like, what, if you don't do it, then you're just going to get stuck later, It just feels like a catch-22. If you don't do it, you're in trouble. If you do it, you waste a bunch of time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I feel, too, we've run into instances where we haven't discussed everything, and then I feel like it's blown up in our faces, in characters, so I think we were just fine, we're going to fucking cover all of our bases.
Yeah, we really needed to get that big planning sesh out of us. So.
Yeah.
No more planning.
In the end, there was also the third option of, hey, just listen to what the NPC's suggesting.
No.
Listen to the DM?
What? That doesn't seem like a possibility, actually. But yeah, so we discussed Balesville, saving Monty. What's going on in Balesville? How can we sneak in to Balesville? What if this specific thing happens? And what about the horses? Because that's so important. We're just really concerned about these fucking horses. Let's talk about it for half an hour.
You guys should have just teleported from New Fugalby and left the horses behind long ago.
No.
We're going to
be not leave the horses. And drag them up that goddamn mountain.
I'm already thinking about this in advance for next episode, because if we have to go up into the mountains, episode 40, I was actually gonna bring this up in game, and I probably will end up doing that once we get to it. But we didn't leave fucking Timberstead. So, but I'm
Spoilers.
we can't bring them into the mountains, and if we board them with whatever inn is closest to the entrance of the mountains, we're likely not coming back down that way. So I think we just actually need to sell them to whoever.
Why can't your brother take them back to Farmhall?
Well, because we have to travel at least, I think it would be a 10-day if we walked down.
Also, most of those horses are loaned from the Arcanet anyway, and you don't own most of the horses.
Yeah,
Gideon's not gonna let us sell Hildy.
No.
Hildy's
okay.
not with us.
Again, the plan always was though that Hildy and like whatever and like
We're doing it again.
Pallius. No, these fucking horses. I don't. Pallius and Hildy, the ones we care about, are going with my family to our fucking keep because we know we can get there eventually. Okay, moving on. Goddamn these horses. Fucking. Okay. Barrier Day is happening in a 10-day. That's probably what's going on. Like why everything's starting to coalesce in Balesville. We message Monty. He's left. He's running to Timberstead, and they've built a wall around the city. We message Hillip, and he tells us that he's on the way, but that he does not want us to get involved, which again was a very, very nice like wink from Teni to be like. Also,
he didn't say he left. He said he's aware and will be.
Oh, will be leaving.
Yeah.
Might be.
Because also, he's probably not going to have the stone on him when he goes to Balesville.
Oh, no.
Why?
Well, I guess
because there's a majority of the Learned Circle back in Brol Bar.
I guess they must have a way of communicating with him, though, right? Or do they just like not give a fuck?
Interesting that.
Seems like what's her face? Althea? Is that her name?
Althea.
Seems like she'd be the kind of person that's like, it's not my problem. Well, it's not. I can't do a French accent. It's not my. No, I'm not gonna try.
It's not my problem.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm problem over here. I applaud you for trying, though.
Oh, you shouldn't. Anyways, yeah. So after all of that discussion, we were like, oh, actually, we don't need to worry about getting into Timberstead. It's all redundant. And we decided to leave Varmhall that night to expedite trying to find Monty on the road and rescue him. And yeah, I think that was just a really solid hour that we spent.
But like, if we ever have to sneak into Balesville in the future, we've got all sorts of options.
That discussion has been had. It's fantastic.
We'll be having to sneak in from the other direction.
So we didn't account for that.
Oh no!
We're gonna be coming in from the bottom, yeah.
Ooh, we get a dragon, we all climb into its tummy, and then we fly in.
That sounds like the campaign ended.
Climb into its tummy.
Why not just ride on top of it?
I was thinking about like a cat bus kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. Okay.
The Trojan dragon?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a dragon. I'm your friend now, Balesville. Accept me into your home.
Yeah.
They're probably chill dragons, right?
Yeah, all right. Sounds good to us.
Yeah.
You want to fight the Ascendancy?
Dragon just gives a thumbs up. Well, I trust him.
So as we're gathering like supplies and everything, we need to leave Varmhall. Rhea says goodbye to their siblings, and then Ylfaren gifts Varmhall their father's druidic staff as a show of good faith and community between our two communities, which I thought was very cool. And it basically is like going to turn into a gigantic tree. So he asks us where we want to put that. And I picked to put it behind Fyra's fire. Nailed it. Just because I thought that looked really cool. And it was like the main open spot that we had on the map, which we need to share at some point as well, Teni. But, and then, yeah, and there's now just like a giant tree with golden leaves in Varmhall. And I thought the imagery was so beautiful. And such like a nice, like, kind of show of good faith for the future. It's like, oh, you know, if the druids do come back, make it work. Our team, we didn't steal your home. It's fine. So,
I like leaving some positivity in the world somewhere.
Yeah. I am glad that like one of Rhea's siblings is okay with us being there, because I know the sister, whose name I've forgotten, was still like seemed to be kind of on the fence about it.
What's her name?
You know, it could literally be anything. So I really have no idea.
It's in my notes somewhere.
Wow, even I am forgetting at the moment.
She definitely has a name.
Which
for sure.
Lorelith.
Lorelith.
Oh,
I was like something with an L.
Sister.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. So yeah, I appreciate like you having kind of an NPC feel like things are okay, because it felt like less pressure on me as my character to like think about this like I hadn't thought about it, be like, oh, this is actually kind of problematic. So yeah, and then I talk a little bit with my dad about how he and Reynard became friends. I don't know if that made anything better in your opinion, Dallas.
No.
Reynard's just like, oh yeah, like he just like stumbled upon his like area and then like did some trials and that they became friends, and that just
he just really casually got tied up. It's super
that just
chill.
Seems normal to me for the Wilder. It's probably fine. Right, Dallas.
Yeah,
that's what healthy relationships are, right? You tie your friends up when you first meet them to test their loyalty.
I mean, I don't think Reynard actively was. It was his people.
Yeah.
So
the thing that got cut out of that conversation was a safe word was established, so we could just move on from there.
Okay, that's
okay. Well, as long as it's all consensual, it's all good.
Well, I actually would have preferred not to know that, but that is fine.
The things you learn, cursed knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm still. I would love to go to the Wilder and talk to Reynard. I don't know that I think he's a bad guy, but this whole thing feels super weird still to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's more here. I don't know what's going on.
Definitely. I'm so excited to go to the Wilder eventually. I have no clue when that's going to happen, but I really want to go.
There are so many places I want to go, and I'm just like, I don't see the path to all of them, so I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm actually going to hold this campaign hostage so that I get to go to all the places that I want to go. So
that's how you make the world end.
Nope. It's fine.
I refuse.
Because even if we like speed run the main stuff we have to do and we solve everything, that means we just get to do other little things everywhere else that I want to go. It's fine. Yeah. Okay, so we ride out of Timberstead that evening and then ride through the night to get to did I say Timberstead before? We left Varm Hall, rode through the night to get to Timberstead first thing in the morning. And then as we're getting rooms to rest in, Drac notices a rabbit with a horn, which is called
Almirage.
Okay.
As far as I'm
which seems correct to me. Re-identifies this as an Almirage for us and says there's probably a wizard nearby. Ryan is not here for me to ask if he knew what this meant, but I personally did not. Did everyone else figure out like who was at the inn from that like clue? I guess because even in the previous,
because of the previous campaign, I already knew that Miles had an Almirage as a pet.
Yeah, it was definitely.
It did come up.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this did come up earlier though, right? Like this was in the float that we saw in Bridge. Is that true?
Yeah, I think that was the first mention we had in this campaign of it, and I think like because that's where we took our break, and that's like Logan said that he was like, "Oh yeah, think back to like the parade," and I'm like, I went to my notes. I didn't fucking write.
No, there's no way I wrote that down.
I didn't write anything. I was like, oh, a rabbit.
The fact Logan said that, I was like, oh my god, I'm surprised he held on to that detail. Like, I improvised the details of those floats, so I was like, I even forgot I threw the Almirage on Miles's float.
I mean, it makes more sense for like him or people from the previous campaign to have registered because that had meaning. But to me, I'm like, oh, that's funky. Next.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So we all go to sleep. Elowyn sets some alarms, and then me and Abe rest in the landing to keep an eye on things, which I get is so fucking weird, but like
weird.
I didn't know what else to do. Because the alarm like only goes off in your mind, right? Like
no,
it can be out loud.
And
is it?
And Elowyn decided it was out loud. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess next time I won't be so weird, but
Honestly,
also,
I think it was the right call for that situation because extra paranoia in a situation like that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Also, I think I might say Trance has to be in a more comfortable location next time. Otherwise, I'm going to start enforcing some more exhaustions. Because it is a meditative state.
Yeah, I've actually never had exhaustion before in this campaign, so that's probably
unaware.
Certainly never 3 levels of it.
However, Abe seems to be able to get away with being inert wherever he can.
Well, isn't that just
He just still has to rest for 6 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever, it's fine.
When you're trancing, are you aware, like Abe is, of things that are happening around you?
I believe so.
Or is it more of a sleep-like state?
I think you are aware, yeah.
It might not be the same capacity, though. Hold on, let me check that.
I feel like Abe's is probably more.
That's kind of what I always thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when we were talking about it in 39, I was like, well, I actually don't know what exactly the details of trance are.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, floaty. Semi-conscious.
Okay.
So just me and my day-to-day life.
You dream after a fashion, it says. So, like, you probably, like...
I can have dreams?
After a fashion?
I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah, what does that mean? What?
First, you think about fashion for a very long time, and then you get to dream about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says they're like, dreams are actually mental exercises that have become reflexive through years of practice. I don't know.
I feel like I want to have my time to have a weird dream. I think like everyone else has had like a fun weird dream.
Perfect. It'll just be like, now, you see a bouncing ball.
What does it mean?
Where does it go? Where did it come from?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
And we're Sue.
Oh, wait. I just had an idea of like a warlock patron. Cotton Eye Joe.
Wait, Teni, I got a plan.
We just got you out of a multi-class, Christy.
No, it's so true. Great. Well, Dallas, it's time to talk about.
I'm pretty sure nothing else happens this night.
I think everyone just had a really good rest. And nothing else happened except perhaps you had a dream and Layla was there and we all had to take our freaking headphones off. I finally watched the scene now, though, and I did take some notes on it, so
please. That's actually the biggest stress I have for these things, is that I have to be the one to actually like comprehend what's going on in them, and I'm like, I actually would love to have 6 other people like looking at this, because I don't know if I'm interpreting correctly most of the time.
Yeah, that's such a mood. In the next episode, you did kind of tell like us in character what happened during this, but did you want to sum up here kind of the gist of it?
Yeah,
really casual. Yeah,
super cash. Walela. Originally, whole deal with Walela was that she was a servant of the Arquette. We were gathering information for the god of magic. No, turns out no. Turns out not the case.
Interesting.
And in fact, she had been banished by the Arquette for, I don't think I said this in game, but I should have, for speaking out against necromancy. Walela doesn't believe in necromancy, and the god of magic is chill with necromancy. Anyways, I don't know exactly what happened there.
I did write down a really baller line that Teni had from this, which was, necromancy is the rotten core of all magic. I was like, oh, okay.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Except for you're probably lying to me, so I don't care. Yeah, and then she was like, so they were like, oh, so what we're gonna do now, Elowyn, you, me, I'm gonna take over as the Arquette. We're gonna kill some druids. We're gonna stop that whole ritual from happening. Release the void. It's gonna be chill. Don't you worry about it. And I was like, Are we gonna do that, huh?
Yeah, casual.
Okay. Neat. Yeah, this sucks. This wasn't fun.
And you were like, that sounds great. I'm into that,
I'm
actually.
On board.
Yeah. This, for me, not a problem.
Super okay.
Yeah.
I feel like why I don't understand. Well, and I don't know if you'll tell me this, Teni, but I don't understand why this happened now. Why would they tell me this?
Yeah, that was the question that I had written down as well, because we've talked about this a little bit too. Just like, yeah, like what was it that made them share this information at this specific juncture? We don't know. We will not be receiving any information. So that
totally makes sense.
Yeah,
totally
definitely.
Makes sense.
A character as calculating and manipulative as Waylala is, their plan is continuing. They have contingencies, and they are moving forward with them now. Everything that Waylala has done and has asked you to do has been with very much forethought. They're a puppet master, so
you know how much not better this is making me feel about things.
Waylala is terrible. Like,
okay. It just really sucks, actually.
It's probably not the end of your encounters with Waylala.
No. I guess that's the question that I have for you, Teni, that I feel like you can answer. Like, was this always the plan for Waylala to be like ultimately against like what our party would be trying to accomplish?
It would depend on like what your goals are and if they aligned with her or theirs. Wow, frig. And like, yeah, it just depend on where you guys aligned. Like, if the goals were perfectly aligned, it'd be like perfect. I'll let you guys do your thing. Or if it's like you guys are kind of heading off track of what they wanted to do, they would probably offer like suggestions to Elowyn to be like, oh, perhaps like unveil a little bit more of the plan or reveal some other information to kind of guide things in their direction. Like, you guys in the end were just tools for Waylala to try and manipulate.
But you always intended for them to be evil?
Are they evil? Or are they selfish?
You just said they're not good.
They're not good.
Not necessarily
like,
evil, though.
It's weird because like their like overarching thing about like not being into necromancy. I mean, again, I just can't believe anything they say anymore. But it's like I'm not necessarily against that idea.
Like, if they're, I mean, as with most antagonists, like making them complex, having ideas that kind of make sense. Like, that's how you make great, complex antagonists. I was going to say villains, but again, I don't fully believe that that's the case, but they're definitely not on your side now.
Well, yeah, now they're not.
Cool.
I'm curious as to why they wouldn't have led you on a little bit longer to see if you could help. Like, wait until, like, you're in the Enclave, the next one, and then just basically set you off like a bomb.
Well, that's exactly, I think, why I'm confused about it as well. Because it felt like this was, of all places to do this felt like the kindest way to do it to me. Or to, like, bring this up.
Yeah.
And to, like, give me the time to think about it and stuff. That I was truly, like, there's felt like there was better ways that they could have done this that would have made me be like, oh, I have to do what you want me to do right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why, you know, spoilers for the next episode, exactly why I was like, I gotta cut this off right now because I don't want to be able to be put into a position where they can be like, hey, Elowyn. Yeah. Agree to my terms, Elowyn, you know?
My assumption is because, like Teni already said, that they're very calculating. Like, I think something is going on behind the scenes that drove them to this timeline. I can't speculate as to what, because I know so very little about everything going on with this. So
me too, apparently.
That is my
forced their hand. Must have.
I feel like that has to be it. Like something, like they had the plan laid out, and then like something didn't go right in it, so it sped things up. Perhaps, like,
or they truly just didn't. Like, the reason they made it so easy for you, Dallas, to get out of it was because, like, you truly didn't matter to their plan.
Yeah.
Which I find hard
That
to
is
believe,
unfortunate.
But...
Yeah. It's either that or like they felt so confident in their, I don't know, manipulation of you that they were like, oh, they couldn't fathom a possibility where you like would pick the other option, you know, because maybe like they thought like, oh, your desperation over wanting to solve the curse, like, especially after like you had such a big reaction, like trying to figure out the deck of many things situation. Like, oh, like she feels like on a precipice of being really desperate. Like, surely, like, she won't have an issue with this, you know?
Yeah, I just
Very
still
well
think
could be
there was
that
like
too.
a better timing for this though, because after 25, I was already thinking about doing this, you know? I was already like halfway to like, maybe I just fuck everyone over, you know? Maybe I just do this for me. That felt like, and Layla knew it because, oh, fuck, I hate them, but they were the only person I told about this as well.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just like, I don't know why at that point they weren't like, Elowyn, we could go do this. Come on now. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I also have a question of like, who are they, if that makes sense? Like, who
Yeah.
are they in the context of the Arquette? You know, like they were banished from it. So like what role did they have? Like, who are they to the Arquette, you know? Because like because I'm also thinking like if they are some sort of like minor, do we know what, like, are they a minor deity or what would they be considered?
I feel like Teni just keeps saying extraplanar being. I don't know how else to refer to them.
Okay.
They were referred to as like a servant of the Arquette, which could mean anything.
That's
Yeah.
what they told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe like whatever they are, and I can't speculate on that either, but like there's also a chance that like they don't have any sort of concept of like mortal bonds, if that makes sense. So like, while you have been kind of taking steps like since 25 to become closer to the group, like they maybe didn't, like that doesn't register, you know, potentially.
That's
so
true.
like there could be a lot of factors. Like,
Layla is just a sociopath, can't recognize.
Well, I mean, I think that is true. I feel like they've said that to me as well. They've said like, I don't really get mortal feelings. I feel like that's a conversation we've had.
yeah, because I mean, like that seems to make sense to me. Like if you live in whatever the fuck dimension they live in and like your dealings are on like a different level, why would you have any concept of it? So yeah.
How many other like warlocks are out there though? Question mark?
Theirs.
Yeah, of theirs specifically or just in general?
Oh, I meant of theirs. Yeah. That was on my list, on my long list of questions for Layla to someday ask. That was on there somewhere. Someday,
Well,
somewhere, I'll get to it.
We may find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another question. This is going to bleed into the next episode a little bit. It's like, do they have any other warlocks or the ability to actually have a proper warlock patron relationship with anybody else? Because from what Charity was saying, it seems like a lot of what you have is from drinking from that lake or the river or whatever, and not specifically from Layla. So,
well, and I mean, I don't know if like the way I went about things is the only way to go about things, but I had to like seek them out. Like it was a journey to get there. So I don't know if they can just like pop up. I don't think they can interact with the material plane in general. So it's kind of like, I don't know how they get new people. Anyways.
Yeah. If the Arquette banished them, I feel like the god of magic would probably do something to make sure that they can't do anything back, you know?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just stuck in a demiplane somewhere.
Well, exactly. I mean, I feel like that's the only reason you would have like little warlocks running around anyways. Otherwise, they just do it themselves, right?
Just little warlocks. They're so
Oh, they're
small.
little warlocks running around.
ding. This sort of stuff frustrates me because I'm like, it's another thing I could speculate on like forever. And I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is garbage. I don't like this at all.
What about you, Adam? You want to be a servant to Layla? Want a warlock?
No. Don't do it.
Could do.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
I'll just
If you
blast.
like a warlock build, yeah, you get some Eldritch Blast.
Now that
What
I don't
if-
have to be main tank anymore.
Hey, there you go. What if Layla and Malden became like a power couple?
Ooh.
You know,
Bird in
I was
space?
just thinking
Because
about how
they were
we
like
keep...
a little obsessed with Malden, right? Just being like, oh my god, like what's their deal, right? So
Good deal. That's true. Huh. They did ask me about Malden a couple times. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I ship
Hmm.
it.
we need to have at
Oh,
least one
cute.
toxic ship because their other one is no longer possible as of right now because Sarze is supposedly dead. And it was Gideon. I was Ryan.
Yeah.
It was Ryan,
Specifically Ryan.
the player,
now
not
it's-
Gideon and
now it's-
Sarze.
It's just long distance now. It's fine. Between
Yeah, it's
planes,
like a little
mind
thing
you.
of like afterlife in between, you know.
Are you a
Yeah.
widow or are
Yeah.
you just in a really long distance relationship?
Oh wait, okay, actually this is kind of a weird question now, thinking about like how magic works. The spell Gentle Repose keeps, does it have to be a whole body or can it be like a head that you keep from?
It says a corpse, so
Okay, that's fine, I can work with that, I guess. So yeah, so if you have a corpse that you just keep gentle reposing,
Yeah.
Nope.
and then you have the ability to like do speak with dead.
hmm
Oh.
So there's your long distance relationship.
long temporal distance.
Just, you know, like call them every once in a while using their body,
Yeah.
mind you, but give them a call,
Yeah.
you know, see how they're doing. Ask them some questions.
Yeah.
One of them's always, how you been? I miss
Yeah.
you.
The head
Do
just
you
goes,
miss me?
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Oh, God.
I don't see why Layla would have an issue with necromancy stuff, personally. To me,
Look at
it
all the
seems-
possibilities.
and those two spells, are either of them actually, are they necromancy spells?
I
think
almost
both of them.
definitely yes.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Pretty
Well,
sure.
yeah. So what's the issue then? I don't.
What's the issue?
Because in my brain, I'm like, I don't know what they are. They're druid spells, so that's a different category.
Yeah, Gentle Repose is necromancy.
Huh.
And Magic Speak with Dead would be too.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They both.
There's like a theory about like how I feel like all healing spells should be considered necromancy. You guys
Yeah, I've
seen
that.
this? Yeah, because it's technically like all of it is like altering the course of like natural life. So in a way, that's all considered necromancy, and I think that's a really interesting argument. But we can have that at a different time. All right. So while Elowyn was having just a really fun, casual conversation with Layla, the alarm spell goes off, and guess what? It's Patience, and we all knew it. We all knew it was gonna be Patience. So, you know, it's good. Yeah. So we have a little chat, and then she heads downstairs, and I go to collect everyone. And I find Elowyn just having meltdown. Understandably so. But yeah,
Good.
doing well. I try my best to
Doing
comfort
good.
you. And then try to get Gideon in there to like cast calm emotions and all that stuff. It was actually kind of fun as a player though, because like I truly like didn't know what the context was, just that you were upset, and I was like, uh-oh, what happened?
It's not great. That's probably not good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah, no, that sucked as well because I was like, I don't think she can read my mind, but I do think she's watching me all the time now. So I just, if I'm gonna try something, I don't think I can say it out loud.
true.
Which would have been helpful. I would have loved to have talked it over with the group. But
Yeah.
here we are.
That's fair. And just like in real life too, like everything happens on top of each other. So like it wouldn't have been a great time either to be like, oh, like Patience is here, but we're just gonna have a quick real quick group chat about this life-altering piece of information that you've been given. So
Yeah. Hey, you know, Teni, like someday if someone could tell me something that wasn't completely world-shattering, that would actually be really cool. That would actually be really nice for me.
Is everything world shattering, or is everything to Elowyn world shattering?
Teni, you don't try to tell me that this wasn't a world-shattering conversation.
No, this one
okay?
for sure. This one for sure was. I'm just saying. Does everything have a little bit too much weight?
I'm having a hard time, Teni. It's really a lot. Just one nice conversation is all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
You got told you could do ritual spells again. Spoilers for the next episode. That doesn't seem world shattering, does it?
Yeah. Well, a little bit, because I didn't think I had any magic. It was a little bit world shattering. Everything is completely turns everything on its head every time I learn something new.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, you should just be desensitized to everything. Everything's world shattering. Just let it go.
Be completely numb. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, that's definitely the direction you want to go in. Speaking from personal experience, just if you have no feelings, nothing can touch you. And you know what? It feels good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is not sage advice. Do not follow this.
Yeah,
No,
this I'm being so facetious right now.
But legitimately, folks, if you are feeling such things, go talk to a therapist. Mental health is important.
It sure is.
And I feel very sad about Dallas all the time.
About Dallas?
Yes, about Dallas.
Oh no.
I'm like, are you okay? I'm sorry. And she messages me. And she's like,
Constantly.
why?
Teni, I swear to God. Oh, I forgot. I messaged you during this episode. I was like, I swear to God, Teni, I'm going to come to your house. I forgot I did that.
Jesus.
Oh no.
She knows where I live.
That is
I've
not
been there.
I have 4 dogs, and only one of them will stand up and protect me.
Oh.
And it's Sophie. She's the smallest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Well, everything's going well. So we went, or a few of us went downstairs to talk to patients finally, which is very exciting. I was hoping Ryan would be here for this part, but alas, I don't think so. But that's okay. Yeah, she tells us a little bit about kind of what's happening in Balesville, and then we get a little bit into her lore of things. It seems like when Gideon brings up that he knows her real name, like it completely shifts her persona that she's carrying, and like she has a moment of like connection with Gideon. Also, this is the line I had saved from my notes, like the "What's so special about you, you damn kid." I really like that. What is so special?
So
about him?
cute.
Yeah.
If you could tell us what is so special about him, actually, that would be great. Just be really
Asking for a friend.
Hmm.
Why is he so special?
Weird.
Why does
People
he get to
want
have
know.
a gauntlet with 2 gems?
Yeah, why does he get the Infinity Gauntlet, man? It's not fair.
Yeah.
You can only have 1 gem at a time.
Yeah, for now. Until he goes all Adam on it and like makes some crazy configuration.
Throws Adam on it.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish my name was
Do Adam.
synonymous with having a brilliant engineering idea.
Yeah, so we learned a little bit about how, like, because we were writing about like how all the memory stuff was happening from Balesville. So she mentions that she doesn't know why that nobody remembers her, but it seems like someone specifically is trying to erase her, which I thought was very interesting. Did not help me narrow down who I think is pulling the strings from all of this at all. Kind of mentioned like she did reach out to, or try to reach out to Charity at some point, but Charity didn't remember her. And now I think this might have been part of the conversation I had with her separately, but she wears a necklace specifically so she can't be scryed on or contacted, which is interesting. She was so cool. I just wanted to hang out with her more, but I'm excited that she's gonna like come and hang out with us again in the future, hopefully. At least it seems that way. But
Or she'll stop in with her sniper 500 feet out.
and kill us?
She's just gonna be
What?
watching.
Why would she kill us? We haven't done anything.
Yes.
Okay. Terrifying.
There's always a chance with Teni.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think that was the majority of the conversation that we had with the group. And then Gideon left, but they left on good terms, which was very exciting. We've got one positive interaction with a former person from Balesville under the belt. Doing great. And then I asked her a few questions as well, because I wanted to know like a bit more of the nitty-gritty about Gideon stuff. Asked him about the soul scarred. He seems to be the only one who has one that's not Starborn. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Unless he is a fraction Starborn. I'm still not convinced that he doesn't have like a parent that's an Aasimar or something. So where would it come from? That's the question. Anyway, I asked her about the event. She didn't really seem to know too much about that, other than that she felt like she could see multiple timelines, including one where she died, which I took to mean that like maybe there was like a shattering of time during it. But then I was talking with Dallas later. You were like, oh, it's because she's like a divination person. I'm like, that probably makes more sense.
I don't know. I liked your theory as well, though. We had a good conversation about this while Nikki was trying on wedding dresses the other day.
Wow.
Priorities.
Yeah. Wedding party conversation.
Yeah. Like you're just there to kind of sit around and wait, so might as well talk
there's
about
a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your time shattering theory.
Tip for hat.
Did I write it down?
Where's the
I don't know if I wrote it down anyway, but basically I was thinking like maybe because everyone reports seeing like experiencing different things and seeing different things, maybe there was an element of like kind of like a fracturing of timelines in that specific moment. And so like maybe everyone did experience something different because maybe in every timeline something different did happen, and now maybe everything's kind of like out of sorts, and perhaps like for example like the Gideon that we have is actually not the original one from this timeline. Like maybe everyone kind of got shunted through various timelines. I don't know.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a very cool theory.
That was my immediate theory, and then you were like, oh, well, she's divination. I'm like, oh, right. Because then you had the moment of comparing like her description of her powers to yours, right?
Yeah.
You told me this afterwards, but
yeah, I mean, when Denny was describing it, I thought it sounded a lot like the way I had described Elowyn's like foresight ability, but I don't know if that's just Quinky Dink or not.
It's a great question. So many things we'll never know. But anyways,
I should just stop attending these things because all I could do is sit here and smile.
you just shrug. Yeah. I don't know. I think I felt more convinced about that before 39, and now I'm confused again.
Hooray.
What about the divination stuff, you mean?
Yeah, I was like pretty convinced that she and I were doing the same thing before that. Because it felt like, I think we talked about this in episodes prior as well. We were like, it sounds a lot like what Elowyn can do when we were talking about her she never misses kind of thing. And then that description I thought sounded so similar to the way I described it that I was like, this is just Denny confirming for me that we're doing the same thing. And then I don't know. I was like, did she drink from a lake? I don't know. Now I'm more confused. Now I'm not sure they are the same thing actually. Maybe she's just a divination wizard.
Well, I guess like.
Well, if she studied magic and you just gained magic.
Yeah.
She did say she was like born with a natural gift though, I think. I feel like she said that in the last episode where she was like, I've always just been good at this.
Yeah. Basically like she,
that.
I think.
Yeah.
If I pull it up, I think I have it written down that she said that.
She's also someone who doesn't always tell the truth, so maybe she did.
Yeah.
Like.
Maybe
right she's a warlock. It's all coming together.
She's what?
She's a warlock.
She's a warlock.
Oh, okay.
It's all coming together. She's gonna kill us.
She's multi-class.
No one tells her anything anymore.
Yeah.
We can't trust her.
don't put that into Gideon's head. He needs to win. So, yeah, she said that she's not a wizard, but has a natural gift for divination magic. Because Miles had something. This is obviously a meta information for us, but what was his deal?
No, he didn't have magic.
I thought, didn't he also have visions?
No. Elia always had visions, like since she was a child, and she like told him things. And he's like, all right, I'll follow up on that. And they turned out to be actual like things.
Oh, okay. I think I'm remembering when Ryan brought this up, and it was before we had made the connection between, or like we were like assuming there was a connection between Patience and Elia, and we hadn't confirmed. He was like, yeah, like Miles' daughter like had like divination stuff, and we're like, seems relevant. Okay, that makes more sense. I just simply don't know. This actually is kind of the most frustrating part after party I've ever done, I think, because like everything's just like, guess we'll find out or not. I don't know.
To be fair, yeah, that kind of is the vibe of this episode. It's like setting up many different things.
That's
I mean,
true.
like setting up like going to get Monty, which happens in this episode, setting up like the Waylala situation, setting up what's going on in Basilville, Patience, we got to get to Darrowcarth, like so many things. Like Timberstead has become a very centralized point of what are we doing now?
Yeah. Ooh, which is actually a good point, because I think Patience also was very much like, you are not ready to go to Bailesville right now, do not go. And I personally, as a player, was like, thank you so much for offering us like a very firm hand of like, keep on the path you were planning on going on, because like I think we were also convinced it's like, well, he mentioned this, I guess we have to go, like kind of thing, because that's I think the hardest thing to balance in D&D stuff, is that like, you know, nothing else is like, it's not like in a video game where a mission is just constantly like frozen until you get to it. Like the world is moving in real time, and so it's so hard to figure out like what is the priority. It really stresses me out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting as a DM to try and like to offer guidance, and how do you do that? And I know like, because I keep in mind is like, they're going to cling to the words, they're going to find their direction, and I will not be afraid to speak lies, red herrings through NPCs, like misguidances, but there will be the helpful NPCs who will be like, here is direction. This, you can choose to ignore it, which may be to your detriment or may yield great results and change everything drastically. But this is an opinion. Yeah.
Regardless, it is helpful to have, because I think we needed that, because I think we're all just like, I don't know. But yeah.
Because like, yeah.
I am glad that we're...
Even though Patience said that, you guys could still totally go to Bailesville, and then we just see what happens.
Yeah, we could. I think it was the fact that we had two different NPCs say, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That
not even like, don't worry about it, like don't go. Two people strongly said
they're
don't
like, you're
go.
gonna make it worse, like don't go.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like,
all
and especially like Hillip having the weight of being like part of the learned circle, and us now being like beholden to them. It's kind of like, well, can't like, it's kind of our boss, so we can't like
we could.
I mean, we still could, and like, you know, if we didn't have such like a pressing thing to do, maybe we would, but I feel like, I don't know.
If Monty hadn't have gotten out, do you think we would have gone? Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, even if we were told otherwise, I think we still would have gone, but it's just the fact that Monty didn't get stuck there.
Yeah, like if like there had been more pressing circumstances, absolutely, I think we would have. But you know, we got Monty and then two firm no's, so that's enough for me. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And I think like too, like she clarified, like, because I think we were all thinking very like drastic of like, oh fuck, like what's going down on Barrier Day? It's gonna be this whole thing. And then she was like, oh, Barrier Day is gonna be like a vote for the new leadership. Like and then it's gonna like escalate from there. And even that was really helpful because in my mind I'm like, oh no, like a fucking ritual is gonna happen on barrier day. It's gonna be this whole big thing, and we're gonna miss this ritual. And when we get back from the mountains, everything's fucked.
We're like, oh,
so
democracy's happening. Like, never mind.
Yeah, I mean that was just like, oh, the scale on which things are happening are like slightly smaller than like my brain, like my controversy. What's the conspiracy? Wow. My conspiracist brain was like, uh-oh. So all of that was very reassuring, and maybe it was all lies. I don't know, but again, we'll find out. It's like everything else. Yeah. Ooh, also, I found out that she was in Eldham Town and was the person who healed Gideon. Not that she told me that, but I saw it. My eyes.
Insight.
In the Mind Palace, you discovered it.
You Sherlock Holmes did.
I was actually really excited like that you weren't there, Drac, because you have such good you have insight, right? Is that what your high thing is?
Yeah, insight and perception.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have pretty solid insight too, but if you're in the group, it never comes up because like you have such eagle vision. And I'm like, oh, I want to feel like I solved something for once. So I felt very proud of myself for that. It's like, I know the secrets. Haha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kraken.
Yeah. But yeah.
Ryan says he has made it in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. We just stopped talking about something that's relevant to you. So
yeah, we've covered all your topics.
Nothing irrelevant.
No.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I'm actually thinking, Teni, I need to use the washroom. So if we did a quick 5 while we get Ryan in, and then.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll have to get borders and stuff ready. Which, yeah, okay, fantastic. Let's take a break then.
All right, we will be back in 5 minutes to continue talking about having no answers for anything.
But how we know nothing at all. Woo!
Yeah, we know nothing. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of this episode of After Party, now featuring Ryan. Perfectly timed, coming in right after our conversation that was relevant to him.
Yeah, classic.
But yeah, I guess the only real question I have for you, unless Teni, you have something to say.
Yeah, quick sound check. Ryan, go ahead.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's me. It's Ryan. We're doing this live. I'm surprised
you're very bassy. Is your original sound on? Do you usually have your original sound on?
It's not on right now, and I usually have it on right now, but maybe that's just my voice because I've done a lot of talking today. But here we are now. I've got my original sound on. Am I even more bassy?
That fixes everything. Continue, Christy.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I close this case.
Great. Well, now that you're sounding so crisp and clean, did you want to talk a little bit about this really great interaction we had with patients? And like, now you have, at least at that current moment, you had one person from Balesville who seems like on the up and up for you.
Yes. That is a big thing for Gideon. Because, I mean, well, geez, yeah, the past few episodes we've played have been so good for this man. It's very, 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 very good. I'm more hopeful for my boy after these last few episodes. But yeah, especially after like the combination of the chat with Drac. So after the chat with Drac, and then wombo combo that with the chat with Patience, like Gideon's on his way. He's doing the thing that I want him to do, which is good, which is heal, slowly, but he's getting there. And it was the moment where the fact that he was Armani Kane was confirmed by Patience without her actually like full on saying it. She was like, leave it behind you. That I think if that chat with Drac didn't happen, that would have gone very differently. And I think that it was yeah, I sort of did the math in my head. In that moment, I was like, oh no, okay, no, we're good. Like, we're good. We're in a place where this is okay. Yeah. Boy, am I glad Anthony had that chat with Gideon. That was
same, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the other side of that coin could have been.
Retired. Going
Like-
to therapy.
Have 2 people in our group just go evil on us.
Oh, Gideon wouldn't go evil. There's a very few set of circumstances that I have laid out that's like Gideon would have gone evil for sure. Those are slowly being crossed out as we continue playing.
Well, that's
There's
good
still
news.
1 or 2 left though.
Great. Also, I was dying just now when you were talking about how, like, yeah, like things are getting better. He's healing, and then Dallas's face was just like
Yeah.
must be nice.
Yeah, it must be.
Someone gets
very
healed.
Good. Don't
Biting
worry.
my tongue over here. Don't worry about it.
I am sure Denny still has some tricks up his sleeve, because as we all know, we still don't know shit about Balesville. So,
That is very true. That's literally all we've been saying.
yeah, no worries. And I've still got things that I've thought about in my spare time. If it happens to my boy, he's in trouble. So, it'd be like that. Yeah, but yeah, that whole chat with Patience was awesome, and I feel like we learned a lot, but also such as with anything, with regards to learning about the event in Balesville, the more we learn about what happened there, the less we know. And it's one of those things where the questions lead to answers that lead to more questions. And yeah, although the bugs were there, we know that now. That was the thing.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. So the bugs were there.
Yes, we did
Great.
learn that from
That's
Monty.
next episode.
That's next episode, though.
Or was
Yes.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although from Patience,
Because you guys didn't really
we
get to
learned
talk
about-
to Monty during this episode.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
Due to
because he was
him-
like basically dead.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a sack of meat. Yeah. Let me see. Patience. Oh, we learned that there was some like potential time being messed around with stuff, so that was cool as well. Though I'm pretty sure y'all already talked about that.
Yeah, those are just what I was saying before, where like we don't know enough if that's like kind of her just describing her own like divination powers, like she had like a vision during it, or if there was actually some like time stuff happening during. But there is still also the debate of like perhaps like her whole divination stuff might be associated with whatever is happening with Elowyn as well. And then we were debating, is Patience a warlock, or what's the deal? You know, where are them powers from? We don't know.
Ryan
So.
knows a thing. Doesn't want to like spoil a thing.
Sorry.
Helpful.
Hey,
Helpful.
she's my daughter. All right.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
This
But to be
episode's
fair, I
pissing
don't
me
know.
off.
I don't know the origin of it though. So I just know how long it's possibly been a thing for.
Oh well, we've discussed this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
cool.
was-
Yeah,
She
I
was
was-
a fab.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what could Ryan possibly know about this that I don't?
Ryan
Danny,
broke into your
don't
house
you know
and he's
the
read your
various the novel I wrote for Miles? No, I did not actually write the biggest backstory for Miles.
No.
So,
No, it was actually like I got like a page of NPCs.
yes, there was more NPCs than there were Miles. So
Sounds like no.
This is how many NPCs? Just-
not nearly as close to no. Not even
Uh,
close. I had
It's
like
fine.
family, bodyguard,
Yeah.
Spike.
Sorry, it was a page, but it was only 3.
No,
That doesn't make
it's
any
more than
sense.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I had so
It was
wife,
big fun.
daughter, bodyguard, Spike, and then I had person that I had tracked down before
Yeah.
the campaign, what I knew of them, and then I think I had one more character. Oh yeah, person named Charity. We had
Another person named Charity?
yes. Don't think about it. It's fine. And I think I had another one, but yeah, I think I had 6 or 7 starting NPCs. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
gave you Ben Deer on your NPC list as well.
yeah, that was the bodyguard. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, he was my family's security because I
Interesting.
was a dangerous line of work.
Question for me, Ryan, how did it feel to have Spike come back into the campaign?
Oh my god. Yes, I love that boy.
Oh god, you're
He's
peeking.
so adorable. I love Spike. Oh, when I came up with Spike, I remember I posed to Denny. It was like Sam and Max sort of deal. Like Spike would be, I can't remember which one of them is the smaller one, but it's basically the rabbit is basically Spike, and Miles is, instead of being like super wholesome the big guy in Sam and Max, he's just a hard-boiled detective who sort of has this pet that keeps him entertained and keeps him sane a bit, and also helps out with investigations. So he's a fun little character, and I love him. I can't get the visual out of my head of him pushing a bowl of soup down a bench. It's fucking adorable. Yeah.
I had to Google what you were talking about because I'm like, what the fuck is Sam and Max? I've never heard of it before. But it looks very cute.
It's a video game franchise.
Yeah.
I never played any of them, but I'm familiar with the characters.
Yeah, Sam and Max, it's a good time. But yeah, then just Almirages are super adorable. So basically when I chose what my familiar was going to be in that campaign, because I can't remember how I had access to it.
You had a magic item ring that had the spell attached to it.
Right. Did I take the feat like adept? I don't remember. I don't remember mechanically how I got it, or if I just had it. But
yeah, I don't remember either. But we tied it to a ring.
We tied it to a ring. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what it is. I like having characters that do like 1 or 2 spells and just hit people. What is that? What's that about? So
Keeps it simple.
utility spells, RP spells to make the character more interesting, and then I just slap people. That's the Ryan build right there.
Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of slapping people, we great segue. We head out to find Monty. Oh, and Patience also has a vision saying that we're in for a fight, which we already kind of knew. But so yeah, we managed to find him after a day and a half-ish of riding, and he is just being pursued by 3 people on horses. Truly, that like image was so terrifying to me because I was thinking about how like humans are pursued predators, and it really just felt like you're being like fucked with so bad that you're just like kind of half alive running, and these people are just like casually trailing you.
Yep.
I actually hate this a lot.
I hate it so much.
Oh, I love
it.
It's so fucking evil. I love it.
But I'm just like, literally, I'm just thinking about like being in like Monty's shoes and how fucking terrifying that is. It's like, oh, they're just right there, and like they're just fucking with me because like if they wanted to, they would be on me already. Like,
yeah. Also, I imagine that with like, I'm pretty sure all 3 of them had magical abilities. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't casting illusions at him to really fuck with him.
That's terrifying. I don't like that at all.
You know,
actually.
The more I think about it, I'm like, these people are evil as shit, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's how you hunt down a dude. You just
Yeah, totally. And I'll take the credit. Absolutely, that happened. As a DM do.
Yep.
But yeah, so they were disguised as what, 3 priests?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, like 2 priests in a night.
Cool. Quickly revealed that, surprise, it's Sarze. Because of course it is. And
I thought it was so cool that Abe got through the illusion and was like the one that just cracked the smart. Like, ooh, way to make him useless magic.
All magic is against me.
Whoa.
Unless it does
claims.
70 necrotic damage.
Yeah, in that case, we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt. That was like, that was a big turnaround there in the fight.
Yeah. This was our 3rd with Sarze?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bed,
Yeah.
the field with the bugs.
Yep.
Yeah, and like, I mean,
No,
there's-
and on the skyship. I
there was
mean,
the airship.
sorry,
She
I guess
wasn't-
we didn't know she was there,
Yeah, it
but
was
I
just
guess I'm
bugs.
just assuming.
I'm just gonna say she wasn't
It
there.
wasn't bugs. Yeah. It was,
She wasn't there.
Yeah.
Someone did take
Sarze attacked
her
us with
Sai back.
Yeah.
the monks. The
Yeah,
Shankarai
bugs and
monks.
hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
this is the third time.
Yeah.
Bugs
Yeah.
and bugs.
So the bugs.
When did she attack us with bugs? Is that the sky ship?
No, that was in the,
The
field.
field.
Oh,
In the
when we
field.
had
The
bugs.
ambush.
We had
With the
bugs
monks.
with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
She
either
didn't
before
have
Sorry,
or just
right.
after.
I said
trying to
bugs.
visit.
I'm thinking giant beetles, not
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many bugs.
too many bugs.
Teni, what's with all the
Can
bugs,
I just say
dude?
one comment? Too many bugs.
Bugs.
You'd use,
Just in
like,
general,
20%
The,
less bugs.
the I don't know, the scary bugs, I always spell with a Z. That's how I know
But
when we're
yeah.
talking about which bugs
Me
we're talking
too.
about. Yeah.
If you look in the calendar,
And the
that's how I've
boys.
been like, yeah, I always put the like in the calendar, like fight with bugs with a Z.
Yeah. That's how I
yeah.
know what we're talking about.
Just wait for the patch
Yeah.
notes. I'll get the bugs out.
The boys, Abe, Gideon, and Drac are with a Z.
Yeah,
I love that.
of course it is.
Boys.
Boys.
We need to hang out just the girls.
Why is everything we do so fucking disastrous?
What, the three of you?
Yeah.
Gosh, I wonder. Well, Drac has lived in the same small village the entirety of his 28 years of life. He's
Right.
only been in like.
24, I think.
Oh, you're younger than that. Okay, so 24, sorry, years of life. You've
Abe's
been
a
out in the world for
2-month-old
2
baby.
months. Yeah, Abe has been alive for 2 months. I'm not actually going to get started on. you know.
And you
Yeah,
should
I'm
be ashamed of
aware.
yourself.
Yeah,
Say something about the event.
perhaps.
We'll start there.
Yeah, so I think that answers your question.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Hey, you know what? We had a recent victory though. Oh, that's a later episode chat. So
So then write it down. I'm not interested in talking about anything except for this fight with Sarze. People want to point out like notable mentions. I have a small list myself, but Elowyn banishing Monty.
oh my god, huge, biggest play of the fight.
So smart.
The fear
Oh,
I
Mega
had
Brain.
that Layla would show up, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much solidifying how I could not rely on this magic.
Yeah.
There's two plays that I have in mind. That's one of them. There's two plays that like hold the top spot and like vie equally, and the second one is the Sleet Storm.
Yeah.
That like both just insane spells. well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so
Banish
grateful
and
that
Sleet
you banished Monty because I went into that. This is my first fight as a full paladin, and I went into that being like, gonna cast Sanctuary on Monty, and then looked at my list and like, I don't have that anymore. That's not a paladin spell, apparently, for
Turns
some
out.
reason. I assumed
Really?
it was because it seems like the kind of thing they would be able to cast.
You-
It's not.
I think
So,
it's fascinating.
yeah, I know. I was very like, huh. It was kind of an interesting fight for me to be like, do I not have anymore? So,
And yet, it's on the Artificer spell list,
What?
which seems very strange.
Why?
Gotta think of it in
And
terms of
what?
gadgets.
You're
guess.
protected from
But paladins
gadgets.
literally protect people. That's their thing.
Yeah. rude.
I don't understand. I'm confused and concerned.
It is on certain paladin spell lists.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got a custom one, so I guess that's up to Teni. But yeah, what was the wording of Sleet Storm again? Like, what exactly does it
There's
do?
so much on Sleet Storm.
Because I
It
feel like
does
I've
so
like
much.
heard it used maybe podcasts before, but all I remember is that it causes difficult terrain.
Okay,
but you were like
so-
rolling for stuff that I was like, what is that?
Yeah, so it causes difficult terrain in the entire area, which is a 40-foot radius, so 80 feet diameter, which is wild.
Huge.
If a creature starts its turn there or enters it, they have to make a dex save. On a failed save, they just fall on their butt, which was funny every time it happened. And then if a creature starts its turn in the area and is concentrating on a spell, they have to make a con save against my spell DC or lose concentration, which completely bypasses the entirety of concentration checks and just says, fuck you, beat a 17.
That one
Yeah.
was crazy to me. I did not know that was a thing that Sleet Storm did.
That
Yeah.
that revelation was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Also, I realized in this fight afterwards when I looked into it, I in fact made a mistake. I had one of the one priestly character cast True Sight to make their way out. Turns out that spell does not help in that situation, because Sleet Storm is not an illusion, but rather conjured actual weather, so you can't
Yeah.
see through it because it's real.
Yeah, that was my question to
true.
you in the session, because you were like, you cast
And-
True Sight and you can see his way out.
Yeah, and I just had to make a ruling there because I didn't know the answer, but I looked it up
I
afterwards.
respect it.
And I'm like,
I
okay.
Honestly,
That's
we've
technically
gone
right.
like 2 or 3 rounds with them just getting their butts rocked by a storm, so
Yeah,
it was
Yeah.
fine. And they
it was
could
great.
eventually
It,
make his
it
way
did
out.
its job.
Yeah.
It
And the
was-
priest is the one that I skewered, right? So
No.
That was the other
no,
one.
the priest is
It
the
was
one
the
that.
knight. You skewered the other paladin-like character.
Yeah.
So the priest was the one that got away.
Yeah.
Wasn't the priest a woman?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
say any gender.
I
just
heard
now.
what I wanted to hear. You said priest, and I was like, "That's a man,
Ah,
obviously."
that is.
In our world, yes.
Yeah.
Priests are almost always
Yes,
men.
that's true.
But meanwhile, if you was a cleric, I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then we're good.
But
That's some gender bias that I have.
another big thing that sleet storm did help with, and I was talking to Dallas about this later, was like, if that priest had known where Elowyn was, they would have gone for her. But they didn't see where Elowyn was hiding, so they had to go after Nell.
Ah, too stealthy for you.
Yeah.
baby.
That was a close one
Elowyn
too.
hides.
I think I ended that fight at like it was either 3 or 7 hit points. I was really close because I think I like when I got close to this Sarze, I actually did one massive hit on me, and I nearly dropped. I'm like, if she does this again, I'm gone. I'm gonna be dead.
That's
that
always
chain
the problem with
lightning
Sarze. Yeah,
a lot.
she's. I think that's the second time she's gotten us with chain lightning, where I've been like, oh my god, that's 2/3 of my hit points in one hit. I have to hide.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah. So scary.
The other good spell was your slow, Nell.
Yes.
Because
I thought
he
it-
was going
I thought
to.
it didn't work.
No, it
Well,
did.
It just
It did
worked
because he was
on
going
him.
to banish me, I
Yeah.
think. And I was going to
Oh.
banish Monty that next term. I already knew that's what I was going to do. And I was like, fuck, I need to be here to do that. And then you were like, slow it. And I was like, oh, no, that was so
Yeah, and he
important.
had to use his entire turn to try and cast a spell, and the next turn it just didn't work.
And the next
Well,
the next turn he was sleet stormed.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they couldn't
that's
find
why
the
it didn't work.
target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you pointed that out because like I felt like I don't know, I got really annoyed because it didn't really feel like it had worked because I
Well,
only
it
I think I
worked.
only got him because it was one of those things. There's so many people on the field that you were like trying to plan what your move is going to be. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then by the time it got around to me, like they had all moved, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what to do.
No, that was super important.
Good.
Sweet, love that. Yeah, it was a bit of a
Also-
weird one learning that I can't heal via bonus action anymore. I was like, oh, I feel like I just kind of figured that part out. Like being a sorcerer and I don't have it anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh.
Well,
Kinda-
myself and Rhea can at least, so there's that.
Yeah, would love. Is healing word what I can get if I took like the magic initiate feat?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
That's very tempting. I might do that at some point because it would just be really nice to bonus action heal.
Interesting. I would love to hear what roleplay implications that would have.
No, but I'd think about it.
Would that lead to a multi-class again down the line?
I don't. It shouldn't.
I don't know. You're an initiate of magic of some kind of a class.
Look, sometimes you just want to get certain spells you don't have access to. I can be like, oh,
Go druid.
fucking Drac taught me. Drac taught me. Best teachers in the world.
I mean, cleric
Just
would
all
make
become
sense.
druids.
Yeah. I don't have to take a multi-class with magic initiate.
No, but you
right?
still have to select like a class to take a list from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense if I have to justify this to you. I feel like I've been one of the people who's like so good about justifying everything that this
Yeah.
one I want just for me, and you're like, justify it. And I'm like, I don't want this one. I just want it. Just-
No, justify. Always.
Everything has to have a reason.
I want a bonus action heal again because it was really helpful. And then I'm like, I don't want to spend my whole turn laying on hands. That's just a lot of work. So
What were you bonus action healing with before?
if I use sorcery points to take cure wounds and make it a bonus action spell, and then I could still hit with my sword. So,
Freaking spell.
yeah.
You could also
Yes.
just like take a feat to just get
No.
meta magic back.
No.
I'm like, well, actually, just gonna backpedal. I don't like. I feel like that's the only thing that I ended up missing. Like,
that's not a bad idea, actually. That's a really cool idea.
I mean, you already have a connection to the class.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It'd be so weird to do though after this whole thing of me being like, yeah, I want to be just. So, because I think again, the only thing I missed was the bonus action heal because it was so helpful to be able to like do that and then hit. So I don't think I missed anything else, but other than not having sanctuary, apparently, I don't know. But oh, we also experienced new bugs. This fight wasn't there was new bugs?
This big bug.
Was that bugs with a Z or not?
It was not bugs with a Z. It was a new
not
bug.
with a Z. We had a new bug with a Z on the airship, which was like multi-headed. But this was just new type of bug that wasn't bugs.
This was, I think it's called is it a chasm? I don't know exactly.
Chasme.
What?
However you pronounce it. It's a fiend of some kind.
Was it summoned?
Yeah, it's a demon.
Great. What did it do to Ryan? What was the thing it was casting?
So what it was doing during its turns is anybody who was within a certain radius at the start of the turn, they had to make a con save. Otherwise, they just fell unconscious.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And that happened to Ryan.
Oh, God.
I'm bad at rolling dice.
Sleepy bye, boy.
That's why I built Gideon to have a +12 to his attack.
Whoa, brutal.
So I can roll bad and still hit people.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was so grateful to have my con boost. I don't think it got me, so. And too many bugs. I'm just going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
Demons.
Bugs. Not enough bugs.
Bug-shaped demon.
Well, don't like the mole? Don't eat the cookie.
Don't like the what?
The mold, you know, like.
Oh, the mold. Okay,
yeah.
I said milk.
No.
Yeah, I was like, don't like the milk. Don't eat the cookie.
Okay.
I guess.
Wait, did you think that he said milk like mulk?
Yeah. People say milk weird, all right?
Yeah.
You got
pass
the milk, too.
That didn't register me at all. It's just like, what's happening?
It's milk, malk, and mulk.
Malk.
Yeah, freaking milk people are the worst.
Yeah. Any else from this battle that was super cool? I think that was.
Shooting Sarze in the
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah,
someone
well,
died.
I was gonna get to that point. That was my wrap up of like, I managed to kill the knight.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah.
Felt good.
I think it was cool that I almost killed Adam with a finger of death.
That was
that was so scary.
Terrifying.
You almost killed me 3 times.
That was so fucking
Every time
scary.
I went down, it was like, okay, is that half of my unaltered HP?
Yeah.
No, it's 2 points
Also,
under.
is
We're
it
good.
half or is it?
I think it's
all
the
way
full
back?
value.
It's the full health back the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was half. Okay.
No, you're
Yeah.
good.
I got
I'm
really
sure-
concerned when you started saying that. And I was like, is that a house rule that I didn't know about? Oh, God.
No,
So it'd be, like,
Adam
over,
is
like,
pretty
150.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I did not like that. Like the one was just like, oh, she's casting Finger of Death. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Is that a band?
I was
Why?
I was looking into that spell before that encounter because I was like, because what happens for those of you who are not so familiar with the spell is if it kills you, you're brought back as a zombie. And I was like, does that mean when they drop to 0, or does it mean after they've rolled their death saves? And safely for players, it's after you roll your death saves and if you die. So
That's good at least. Jesus.
Also,
you guys saved.
what would
Abe-
Abe as a zombie be like?
Yeah. But also, okay, if Abe is a
That's my
zombie and then we cast freaking like True Restoration or whatever the hell on those ashes, what does it all mean?
What?
Those ashes are going to be some random person.
They're not maybe
Yeah.
if those ashes happen to be freaking Pascalis the Brave, then like if Abe became a zombie but we brought the ashes back, I have a lot of questions
Well,
about this
I see
whole
what
thing
you're saying,
because
yes.
it makes no sense.
Well, I mean, if somebody turns into a zombie, let's hypothetically say those ashes are indeed Pascalis the Brave. So you've got Pascalis the Brave's body in an urn, okay? And this is talking about
Please,
some
someone clip that out
weird,
of context.
some weird soul magic that we definitely have rules for. Loosey goosey, I'm being sarcastic. So we've got Pascalus's body, and theoretically, we've got his soul in Abe. So if somebody comes back as a zombie, that soul isn't fueling the zombie. The soul's gone. It is some weird necrotic magic that is essentially just puppeteering a zombie. So the soul is also gone. So you could still perform that ritual on that body because you have the body and the soul. There's also just an Abe zombie.
So he's just a empty suit of armor at that point.
Or maybe because he's had such a high traffic of different souls going through him, some other more powerful soul that, I don't know, maybe once the body back would just take it.
Ooh, I don't
Yeah.
like
Interesting.
That's actually what I was kind of thinking.
that.
'cause-
Hungry man. Here it
Yes,
comes.
I was definitely considering that. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
with
this
the
is-
implications of Abe coming back from the dead. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It could be one of the souls that perished in that
Yeah.
fight we had. It could be the ferryman or the one who hungers. So,
Yeah.
fuck. Or Abe. I don't know.
Well, because we had like pre-separation from Malden, like we had the concern when Abe dropped in the fight with the cannibals and brought back. I was like, "Ooh, is it going to be Abe?" Like I had stuff written down, like prepared in case it wasn't Abe and it was someone else. Like I thought that was actually going to be like the crux of that character originally because it was so early on. I was like, "Oh, Adam's just going to play like a different person in the same body each time he dies potentially." You know, that's what I kind of thought could be the thing. But then it wasn't. It was still Abe. So I was like, interesting. Okay. But now I'm trying to think, like, there's a lot of, like, parallels between this and Talison's character from the second campaign of Critical Role, where, like, his character is, like, a soul in a previous person's body, and then he died, unfortunately, and then, like, Matt brought him back as the original person in that body and became, like, a villain with it that he was playing. And then, like, huge massive spoilers, they ended up killing him and then, like, brought him, like, revivified him in the hopes that they could bring back, like, their friend. And, like, a new soul did come back, and it wasn't their friend, but it wasn't the villain either. It was a new one. It was a different one. And that, I think about that all the time. I'm like, what dictates that it's like it was another new one? But that was a choice that, like, Taliesin made as a player, but still. So
Fascinating. I never did finish that campaign.
yeah, well, I spoiled a big chunk of it for you.
That's
so
okay. I was basically at the end, so.
Dick.
Yeah. So now, you know, I have a lot of questions. If we ever, like, try to figure out this whole Ash situation, I just don't know.
These ashes we put way too much stock into.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, and again, maybe it's not, but, like, I feel like there could be something that could happen, like, related to this.
It's gonna be like Dr. Bees or some shit. It's gonna be some like meme
What?
lord of a hero. I don't know. Okay.
It was somebody's cat or dog that they just named Hero.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so cute.
I would love that.
Teni,
actually.
can it be that?
Be
Yeah.
a dog.
You just bring
You're
a
the
dog,
dog.
and
Dr.
it's a
Bees.
paladin dog.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm okay with this actually.
Yeah.
Abe or Adam, you want to play a dog?
Either one of you want a dog?
Oh
Be
my
like
god.
Pluto, the space dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Now I'm
crypto.
Now I'm just dreaming up some, like, heroic
Crypto's a
warg
super
that you could
dog.
ride into battle.
Oh my
Crypto,
god.
the
Yes.
super dog.
Ooh yeah. Invent something, and eventually I can get fucking fine steed or whatever the hell, and then I can ride it myself. Great. Anywho, yeah. So Gideon shoots Sarze right in the face, and kills.
She's gotta be dead.
It's dead.
No, I'm pretty sure
Ooh,
she's
I know
dead.
how we can get Denny to tell us if she's dead or not. Denny, share your music playlist for Sarze with us if she's dead.
I don't have any villain playlists.
That's
I
not
just
true.
That's
have
a
music.
Not true.
I have songs that I found that I'm like, ooh, but I've never made a playlist for the villains.
Okay. I
have-
mean, technically, you have in your head because you've got songs
Sure.
that you've set aside.
I've only made a card track playlist.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
In my
actually
head.
have. Now that I think about it, in DMing, I haven't made a playlist for any of my villains. That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it's not quite the same like thing as like a PC making a playlist for themselves. But
unlike, also Sarze is a bit of a mystery, so it's like, why would I make a playlist for Sarze? If I leave Sarze mysterious to myself, also.
Oh, she's a mystery to you too?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Nice. I love doing that.
Oh, good.
Good. Okay,
She's dead or not dead. No.
Oh Lord, she's Schrodinger's Sarze.
Also, sorry if we keep jumping back. Sarze got shot in the head, but also, I just loved how juicy this fight started off, because we kind of glossed over that. Like, everyone almost took a level of exhaustion, just a bajillion damage. Like,
Oh yeah, true. That
Monty,
what?
that
She
cube
sucks.
of garbage that she threw at us.
What
yeah,
was
like
it?
this, it was like a big wave of dread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't a spell, right? It was just
Nope.
an ability of hers. Yeah.
Yep. And you know what's
I guess-
fascinating? Every encounter, she's had this, but couldn't use it because her companions were in the way. This time, you guys were all on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
How nice.
So good for her.
It just makes me go, like, if she'd ever gotten to use this during any of those other fights, that probably would have been TPK.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Jesus.
She almost
like,
one shot.
Because like I'm thinking at like the bid, like what level were we?
We were level 6?
5 or 6.
Yeah, and like I didn't have that amulet yet or anything.
5 about to go into 6, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, we'd have been all
That
dead.
would've Killed us all.
I guess you're probably not going to do this either way, but if she's really dead, tell us what her deal was. What was she? A dark paladin? 'Cause
I
she
know.
had-
I don't give
wanna
my
see her
villains
stat
classes.
That's
No,
No,
but,
I
like,
want to
what
see your
was-
stat
Yeah, like what was
block.
she inspired by? Because she had an aura of like something, and that was really
She
interesting.
used hellish rebuke.
to,
Yeah.
She was all over the
to
place.
defend Denny here
No, don't do that.
could be spoilery. If
well,
he says what Sarze is, it could lead us down a path of investigation
Yeah.
we would not have otherwise been led down.
Exactly.
It's fair. I
It's
just want to know
meta.
someday.
I
Because
just-
that's what Denny was
want to
definitely
know.
going to say.
I'm gonna write that in my section here for like things to bother you about after the thing.
But I also do the same thing. I don't give my villains classes unless it's a very specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, like even NPCs that are given in like Volo's Guide or the remastered Mordenkainen's book, like there are like monks and thieves, and they'll have like a feature from like say a monk class or the rogue class, but they don't have all the features of the class. So it's like, sure, this sneaky guy's got sneak attack, but he doesn't also have thieves' cant and uncanny dodge and evasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have like some things.
Yeah. Any assassin NPC is gonna have a sneak attack. That's just how she's gonna go.
Yeah.
They might even have a cunning action, but they're not gonna have everything else.
Yeah, like none of them will ever have reliable talent.
No, none of them will have reliable talent. None of them will have evasion. None of them will have.
Evasion's not entirely true.
Uh-oh.
What's the
Some
one
of
where
them
you
do
just like
have
take
it.
half damage because you're rogue?
That one's
evasion.
uncanny dodge.
Evasion.
Uncanny dodge. Yeah.
Evasion
Oh.
is advantage on dexterity save, or no, sorry.
No, it's
If you succeed on dexterity saving throw, you take no damage,
Yeah.
and if you fail,
And
you
if you
take
fail,
half
you take
damage.
half.
Uncanny dodges use a reaction to halve the damage of an attack you can see.
Yeah. Rogues just don't take damage. They don't believe in it. They I'm gonna
Being a
build a
rogue is
strength
good,
rogue one of these
actually.
days.
I miss
Yeah.
playing a rogue. Dallas, be a rogue. Be an arcane trickster.
Think about it. Yeah. Idea.
But also, we need you to be able to. We need someone in this party that can cast teleport. So actually, be a wizard, I guess. You know.
You're all on
um,
your own. You're gonna learn how
yeah,
to use a
we're-
sword, and
Yeah, we're all
it's gonna
fucked.
get anywhere.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stab you all the way to the other side of the continent.
Yep.
Yeah.
This thing with Sarze though, no, I feel like originally as well I was like, she's not dead, but the more I think about it, I'm like, she fully is dead. And I think we talked about this in the group chat, but like Kardrak hired, like she's from that assassin group, right? Like someone
Yeah.
hired her, maybe Kardrak, I don't know, maybe it goes higher than that. Someone hired her, and she's just like an assassin that they like give their like firstborn child to hire, right? And she didn't kill us. Like she didn't do the thing she was supposed to do. That just means they're gonna send an even scarier assassin after us. Like they're owed like the big boys now.
Interesting.
I think Sarze was the least of our problems.
Oh yeah, didn't we joke like Sarze Big is coming next?
Sarze
Big.
Yeah,
So I don't think we've seen the last of the Shade Hand for sure.
Oh no, we're gonna see another one of them probably. Yeah, my theory with Sarze was like, as long as her skeleton was there, I think there was a chance she could have come back through some like fell magics. But the fact that we holy watered it,
pretty final. What we
it
did.
felt pretty final to me too.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able
quite a bit
to.
of setup.
Next episode, she's back. Let's just say.
Wow.
JK, I'm here. What's up? We're gonna kill you. No.
You killed me. Oops.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to figure out that holy water thing, because I was like, we don't really have any other good solution for dealing with this, but we absolutely cannot leave this on the side of the road if someone like some fucking farmer just like snorts some ash and then dies. Like, no.
I'm so glad that Shatter works to pulverize the silver too. I was like, this is the last idea that I have.
All right,
I don't know what else we would have done.
Delay in the contest because we're jumping all over the place here. Gideon shoots Sarze in the head. Sarze's body melts away, leaves behind poisonous skeleton. Now we got to deal with that.
And if you touch the skeleton, it turns to bad ash. So.
Le poisson, it will kill you.
Yeah.
The fish will kill you?
Yes.
Fish. Good. Yeah.
Fish?
Yeah, I was so
Fish
freaking
on.
scared of Logan messing with that, and he actually succeeded in getting some. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and now I'm like,
he crit twice.
We really shouldn't have that vial of poison ash.
Not.
Part of me was just like, we should just put it in and then like make it part of the holy water thing.
Yep.
But we didn't say that we did that. So he's carrying that shit around. Or maybe I am, if he put it in the bag of holy.
I think there's no way Azaria left that there. I think that feels so Azaria to be like, I absolutely have this poison.
Yeah. And yet I'm the chaotic one.
On it.
No, we haven't. Oh, I wonder if it's just gone.
It's just turning back into another Sarze.
Little tiny Sarze in a vial.
Cultivating. Maybe she'll fight for us this time.
I am Sarze.
What if Azaria just like kind of did a double whammy of like planting a bean along with the ash or something?
Plant the
What if we plant
beans.
the Sarze?
No.
No beans.
I'll plant a bean at the frickin' entrance to the Pearly Pass. How about that?
There you go.
Why
Well
not?
made.
We'll
Everything I
Terrible.
do is right now. That's the tenets of my oath. So
whatever.
God, Teni, I can't believe you said that to her.
6 beans. Let's go.
I'm planting all of them in a line.
Sure.
This is what you fuckers wanted, right? I'm gonna plant these goddamn beans.
Then he
Since
just
when did
wants us
any
to
of us say that we
accidentally
wanted that?
commit a war crime. That's what he wants, all right?
Literally, you guys talk all the time about how you want to plant these fucking beans. I'm the one that's been like, I don't want to plant them because, like,
I don't want to plant them.
Who wants to plant them? I don't want to plant them.
really, I swear to God, we've had this argument so many times where everyone's just like, yeah, let's plant these
Danny wants to
beans.
plant them.
Plant the beans.
I think Logan maybe is the one that I have actually
Logan
the biggest
probably
beef
does.
with.
Yeah.
I am certain that one of the whatever the results of these things are, I don't know if it's 100 like a percentile or if it's like a D10 or whatever we have to roll. I am certain that among them there is a like, hey, just cast meteor swarm on the town nearest you or something
Ooh,
like
I
that.
wonder if there's a wish bean,
exactly.
Dallas.
Just gonna
No, don't
accidentally
say that.
commit a
I'm
horrendous.
already committed to not
Bean.
drawing
amount
from the
of
goddamn
collateral
deck.
damage.
Yeah, but a bean though is different.
Yeah,
It's
this is
different
different
deck.
because I gave you this treasure.
Yeah.
Or just cast fireball.
Like
on
I
the
could have got
area,
to that deck.
You know, we'll just blow up our campsite. It'd be great.
What if we've been carrying around a bean that like just cures any curse or something, and Denny's like, plant the beans. Please plant the fucking beans, for the love of God.
You use the blue fire bean, please. Another.
Pick a different one.
The
That's
worst
least
of all of
interesting.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
I'll
don't know,
plant.
Denny. The blue fire was
plant
pretty
it,
hype. Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, I
It
like
was blue.
See, what could be
Seeker's
so
Flame.
bad?
I don't
a
know.
lot of things.
Wild magic.
Hey, we've already had most of the bad wild magic stuff, so nothing else can really happen.
It can happen again.
I should make it a reward. I should make it a thing in chat. Plant bean.
No, I actually am not okay with that. I'm so against these beans that I want to be the one that decides when I plant them. So, whereas like my wild
Plant
magic, That can proc, I don't mind, but
Everybody has one bean. I know that, right?
yeah,
Like,
we all have one bean.
we all have one
we?
bean to plant.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have that in
we
my
all-
inventory. I should add that.
Well, Christy has them on her
Christy has all
character.
I am
beans, but-
holding said beans,
But
but
everyone has
we've
claim to a bean. I got
yeah,
it.
Yes.
we've each designated that we all have one bean to plant. So
Bean in a dream, baby.
Beans?
Dr. Beans.
Yes.
I'm like so tempted. I really want to look it up now, but like I'm not going to.
I
But
hope
I'm like,
that's what
fuck,
the
like what's
answers
the worst
are.
thing that could happen? I'm so stressed out by these stupid beans. I think
Dr.
Denny's more
Beans.
stressed. I'll plant the fucking bee in the pearly pass. I already said that. But
Yay!
can it be planted in snow?
Has to be planted in sand or dirt.
Okay. How
You know
deep
what,
dirt?
actually,
dirt
now that I think
Snow,
about
so
it-
yeah, you'll find it.
how deep that dirt got to be? Because I could just pick up a handful.
I think the item that
Prior
does
to
actually
the-
say.
It has to be in like earth.
Oh. I mean, you dig the snow a little, and then there's dirt.
Yeah, we don't have to do it like in the thick of the pearly pass. We could do it at the start of it.
Yeah, I was gonna
before
do
it
it right at
gets
the entrance,
endless
as long
blizzard.
as there's no like in
have to-
nearby.
Plant it in dirt or sand and then water it.
Snow is water.
No,
But it's not dirt or sand.
but
If
you-
I
You dig to the
dig
bottom of
the
the snow and then you go.
snow,
Yeah.
and then put it in the dirt, and then put snow over top of it.
Okay, yeah.
You
But then
can
you'll
just
also need
pour
fire.
water
'cause-
on it.
Yeah.
Put some snow in your
Fine.
hands and go.
This is why we don't want to plant the beans. This is way too much work.
Yeah.
We're
No,
gonna talk
just-
about planting beans for 30 minutes, and then we
Yeah.
won't plant a bean, and then we continue on our way.
Yeah, Drac can just create water, I think.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
take the beans away. You don't deserve them.
No, I want
Beans
to
are
plant
gone.
a bean eventually.
I'm
was
sorry,
an-
Denny. I don't want to accidentally raise Valenbridge to the ground.
There's
sorry.
an anteater in your bag you didn't know about. All the beans are eaten.
Whoa.
I
It
thought they
changed
only
its
ate
appetite.
ants.
No, it changed.
What if I fed the beans to Grobo,
Sure.
and then he at some point could just shoot some sort of like ability out of his
He doesn't
mouth?
have a mouth though, so
How they chew the beans?
He could maybe like
Osmosis.
absorb. He could absorb something.
Just snort the beans. Good luck.
You know, just kind of he just absorbs it.
All right, I apologize for taking us way off track with the beans.
Literally, I had nothing else to talk about. That was everything. So I think that's great. Actually, this bean conversation can be what our fun question was because I didn't have one. So
Was this fun? Did you guys like that?
I
um,
had fun.
no, just by like default now, I get angry whenever we talk about the beans. So
So what better way to never talk about them again?
if I plant
just
all of them at
plant
once.
Don't put
Isn't there a
Turn it.
specific thing that said if you plant all of them at once, it's
No,
gonna
if
like...
you,
If you dump
drop them out of the bag all at once, it explodes, which I kind of want to do instead, if I'm being honest. But
You wanna just
No, I want to
nuke-
plant them.
No.
Create, don't destroy.
I'd rather have there be a 1 in 100 chance of there being a nuke instead of a 100% chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hear me out. I like the not blowing up thing.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'm not gonna make that decision for everyone. Now would not do that, but
I'm gonna tell you there's no effect that'll destroy a town.
okay.
Maybe just
Okay.
greatly
Okay.
alter it.
Okay.
So we should plant one in the center of Balesville. Maybe it'll fix everything.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you know what?
Plant
That's fair.
one next to
Sneak into
Elowyn.
Balesville.
You get fixed.
All right,
Fuck Balesville. Let's
here's
burn
what we
it.
The
do.
fix everything bean? Okay.
We,
Yeah.
we take a skyship over Balesville. We dump them all out over top Balesville, airstrike Balesville into garbage, and restart over again.
Wow.
Dude, we
You know what's
airstrike the
that plan,
beans.
honestly?
Right? So we,
I feel like I've actually heard
We
of
know
war
all the bad
criminals that
guys
have
are gonna
had
be there.
similar plans.
Drac, then you do the weatherman thing and you just make it rain
Exactly.
as we fly over. Because
We'll-
he's the weatherman.
We'll glass Balesville, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and I think all the people who are just kind of like brainwashed innocents, they deserve to die for sure. Fuck them, right?
Well,
Well,
in this
sucks.
context, yeah.
Life's
Monty,
not
Play
always
Dicey
fair.
will be back on December 4th. Be sure to join us as we commit war crimes at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays.
It's supposed to be
bi-weekly.
like-
Wait until then, though.
I was like, December 4th is not possible. You're right. That can't be this Sunday.
Sure is.
Oh, but it
It
is.
It is.
What's happening? Okay.
You know what?
Um,
I make this solemn vow.
Time is a weird bean.
We're
But-
on the road.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna plant the bean next episode.
Ooh,
I
okay.
love
Well, I mean, I
All
guess
the
I will
beans are
too if we get to the
getting
fucking if we get to the Pearly Pass next episode. I will too. Let's
I
all
will plant
plant.
it. I will not plant it in Darokarth. I will plant
That's
it
up
on
to
the
Drac.
road.
Plant it in Darokarth? That's fine.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
If you want to fuck with Darkard, you fuck with Darkard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck with the mountain. Maybe make it a bit warmer for us.
You're literally taking my idea to plant it in the Pearly Pass. Just saying.
The Pearly Pass.
That's the snow that we're walking up.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the way to Darkard.
I was
That's
the
why-
first
that's
person
why I-
who said
that's
they
why
were
we
gonna
had-
plant.
That's why we had the
No.
whole snow
Christy
conversation.
technically was the first person to say that she was going to plant.
Yeah, I got dibs on these stupid beans.
Oh.
Why don't we could plant two side by side? Maybe they'll like make a merged effect.
Combo?
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun.
Mega
Yeah,
bean?
do it.
Mega bean, yeah.
Curly mustache?
Yeah.
Megro.
I'm going to wrap this up unless we have more bean talk that we want to have.
I'm all beaned out.
Great. Alrighty, well, thank you all so much for hanging out with us as we discussed everything beans.
It's bean fun.
And this past episode. If you have any questions about beans that you want us to answer, send them to me on Twitter at CBKBeans. Just kidding, it's at CBKClo. Or email them to me at cbkclo@gmail.com. That's all.
Beanmail.com.
Yes.
For
Thank you all for
us.
being such wonderful human beings.
Beans.
I'm happier than I've ever been to be a part of the
Oh
show.
my god.
Thanks
We
for being
invite
good
you
to us.
to join us next time on Play Dicey After Party. Good beans to you all. To all, good beans.
Cool beans, dude.
Cool beans. Cool beans.